Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a great day to be in Tallahassee. First of all, my wife's from Southern Louisiana, so happy Mardi Gras. I got my tie on today. And ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, today is the 201st birthday of the City of Tallahassee. So it is our community birthday. What a great day to celebrate than to come out today. Two things in particular on a personal note. I want to recognize Miss Cynthia Barber, who just retired as Deputy City Manager after 34 great years at the City of Tallahassee. Cynthia, thank you. We love you. It's great to see you. And also, I'd like to announce, and I'm very proud, that we have a new Deputy City Manager, Dr. Carolyn, who is with us today. Dr. Jummerville, congratulations on the appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by two of my esteemed colleagues. Commissioner Jack Porter is here with us today, and the Dean of the City Commission, the man, the myth, the living legend, Curtis Richardson himself. I don't know how she did it, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if I want to know how she did it, but the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Tallahassee, Diane Williams-Cox, made it back in town to be here today with us. Diane, it's great to see you. Thank you. It is my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies for the street renaming ceremony, a celebration of three outstanding individuals who made their mark in the Tallahassee community by way of Florida A&M University. At our January 15th meeting, the Tallahassee City Commission voted unanimously to rename streets for former Florida A&M University football coach Rudy Hubbard and two alumni, the late Dr. Carolyn Ryals and the late Lilyan Spencer, both educators and community servants. And by honoring these three outstanding individuals, the city celebrates how they each uplifted our community, including through their contributions to education, athletics, and community outreach. First and foremost, our fearless leader and my dear friend, Dr. Timothy Beard, the interim president of FAMU, and let me take a second to recognize the First Lady, Ms. Beard, who's with us today as well. It's great to see you. President Beard will be followed by the Vice President and Director of Athletics, Angela Suggs, and then the FAMU Vice President, Jamal Soul, of the Office of Governmental Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, our President, Dr. Beard.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Thanks, Mayor, and to Commissioner Richardson for being with us this past weekend. And I told the Mayor this is 3 times in 4 days. You are certainly part of the family now. It's a privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate the lasting contributions of 3 extraordinary individuals. First of all, Coach Rudy Hubbard, Dr. Carolyn Ryals, and Lilyan Spencer, whose lives exemplify FAMU's legacy of excellence with caring. Coach Hubbard, your impact on FAMU athletics is indeed legendary. Your leadership brought home championships and national recognition. But more importantly, you helped shape the lives of young men, instilling discipline, perseverance, and pride. Your name on this street is a testament to the enduring mark you have left on our university and the game of football. Let's give it up again for Coach Rudy Hubbard. Dr. Carolyn Ryals dedicated her life to education and service, embodying the spirit of mentorship and generosity. From the classroom to the community, she uplifted others, ensuring that the next generation had the tools to succeed. Generations of students were able to complete their assignments on time thanks to the Copycat Center, which she founded. Her legacy of compassion and excellence will continue to inspire all who travel this path in her name. Let's give it up for the late Dr. Ryals. As we honor the late Lilyan Spencer, a trailblazer, whose contributions to education, athletics, and the community service helped shape Tallahassee and FAMU's history. This FAMC tennis player and math major went on to become the principal and athletic director here at Bond Junior High School, now Bond Elementary. She used her platform to break barriers and uplift those around her, leaving behind a legacy that will never be forgotten. To the City of Tallahassee, thank you for these individuals whom you recognize. 3 remarkable individuals. Their names on the streets will serve as a daily reminder of the excellence, resiliency, and service they embodied. May we all walk in their footsteps, striving to leave our own lasting impact. And as we say here on the Heights of 7 Hills, these individuals have indeed struck, and struck again. Thank you.
To Dr. Beard, Mr. Mayor, the others that are on the dais with me, and to all of you. It's an honor to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate the street naming for Coach Rudy Hubbard, Dr. Carolyn Ryals, and Lilyan Spencer. Lilyan Spencer, a true pillar of our community. Her kindness, her generosity, her tireless efforts have helped shape this neighborhood that we're in today. This street that we're on, honoring another tennis great, Althea Gibson Way, and so it's so fitting that we honor her legacy today. We also celebrate the life and achievements of Dr. Carolyn Ryals, my typing teacher, typing 1, typing 2, typing 3. I think this morning as I was sending and preparing these notes today, I was able to kind of tighten them up because of what I learned from Dr. Ryals with many of you that are in the audience today. But in her unwavering commitment to service and her inspiring leadership, which have brought us together today, we honor her and her lasting influence in our community. And again, to honor the remarkable legacy of Coach Rudy Hubbard, whose dedication and passion have left an indelible mark on our program through all of our sports teams, not just football, but for all 14 sports that we have. Let us celebrate the contributions of Coach Hubbard, and not just Coach Hubbard, but the entire Hubbard family. He was a mentor, he is a mentor, is a leader, and also, for me and many of you here today, our classmates' dad. His passion for sport has gone beyond the field and instilled the values of teamwork, perseverance, and respect that we still enforce today. So let us celebrate these Rattler greats, and thank you so much. It's an honor to stand before you today.
Greetings, I am Jamal Sowell. So my father's from Jasper, Florida, about an hour east of here. And my grandmother came from Tueg, Florida, about an hour west of here. So growing up around the country, I'm from Orlando, but growing up around the country, like Dr. Beard is from Port St. Joe, I wanted to see the world. So after college, I went to live in California, and I made a visit to a church, Bishop Noel Jones. And he said one day, you can't have success without a successor. So as I looked through the bios of Hubbard and Ryals and Spencer, the one thing that resonated was that they empowered the youth of tomorrow. They took time out of their schedule, their lives, to empower those who will be the future senators, governors, or even the family presidents. And as we think about the history of those individuals, though they had many great feats in athletics, they wanted to make sure that America was taken care of by the leaders that they empowered. So as we honor them today and thank the officials who are here, we have to remember that you can't have success without a successor. So today, we are their successors. Thank you.
It's an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate not just the street naming, but a legacy that has helped shape this community, Florida A&M University, and the history of college football itself. When I was young, people would tell me, "You look just like your daddy, boy." I'd smile, not fully understanding the weight of that comparison. As I grew older and developed more of my own personality, those same people started to say, "Not only do you look like your daddy, but you are like your daddy." And I started to understand more of the profound compliment that was happening. Sometimes I'd meet people far away from Tallahassee, and maybe they're impressed with something I did or said, and then they'd say, "Tell me about your dad. What's he do?" Far away, maybe in Connecticut or something like that. And I'd answer in my mind, "You'd be amazed. Because my father, Rudy Hubbard, is more than just my dad. He's a visionary who saw and has seen possibilities where others see obstacles. He's a leader who didn't just adapt to circumstances, but transformed them. The head coach who led Florida A&M University Rattlers to heights never before achieved by any HBCU, securing the first and only national championship for these proud institutions. Think about that for the moment. The first national championship in football for any university in the entire state of Florida. That's a fact. Before the Gators, before the Seminoles, before the Hurricanes, it was the FAMU Rattlers. My father's eye for talent has always been legendary. He recruited the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner back in the early 70s, an accomplishment that hasn't been repeated to this day. His induction into the College Football Hall of Fame wasn't just an honor, it was a recognition of the path he blazed for others to follow. But what has made my father special hasn't just been his ability to win football games. It was his vision, the capacity to coordinate, design, and collaborate toward a championship goal. It has been this understanding that greatness isn't achieved alone through bringing together diverse talents and molding them into something extraordinary. On behalf of my family, I want to express our immense pride. Pride not just in his accomplishments, which are considerable, but in the man himself, the father who taught us values that extend far beyond the football field, the husband who has shown unwavering dedication, the friend who could always be counted on. Most people don't get a chance to meet legends in person, let alone know them personally. But everyone gathered here today has had that privilege. Some of you know him as our friend, and some of you know him as our coach. Our Pamela knows him as my husband, and we know him as our dad. But now, as we dedicate Rudy Hubbard Way, we all share something special, the privilege of growing with, learning from, and benefiting from the Rudy Hubbard Way. Not just a street name that bears his name, but a philosophy, an approach to life that emphasizes vision, discipline, and perseverance. Daddy, your legacy now extends beyond trophies, records, watches, plaques, and rings. It's permanently etched into the landscape of the city you've given so much to, and we couldn't be prouder. Thank you, Daddy.
All right, Coach.
Thank you very much. It's an awesome job, sir. I want to, first of all, start off by recognizing such an esteemed group of people here sitting with me and by me. And it's an honor to speak with you and to accept this street naming today, the Rudy Hubbard Way. Again, I want to recognize my family sitting out here. Stand up a minute. Raise your hand. You don't have to stand up because that might be a chore. My wife is there again, and also want to recognize some of the rattlers and young men who helped me to get to this state. They are all out here sitting here in the back, and I'd like for you to, if you don't feel like standing, just raise your hand so they can see you out here. These guys. Whenever I ride up that street, I'll think of them. And my friends, I thank you very much. It is indeed an honor. You know, I gotta recognize a couple people, Mr. Mayor and President, our pastor over here, been in this community for all these years and making big things happen. And this has certainly been an honor for me, and it's something that I will never forget. But I want to recognize a couple people who really made this thing happen and brought it home. Of course, I was thinking it should have happened a long time ago. Just being honest. There aren't many. You know, we lost one of our young men, Sammy Knight, and he was a great player. But I can say truthfully to all those guys who were a part of that period when I was here, there aren't very many guys that could say, even in passing, that we had a national championship. We built a national championship together. That's big time. It just doesn't happen very often. But a couple of people sitting here in the front row, I didn't see Diane there. Yeah, I was wondering what was happening going on here. But over here to our left, my left, is Diane Williams-Cox, our commissioner. I appreciate you. And sitting right beside her, Curtis, I'm gonna have to say Coot. I know he's big time now. Hey, we call him Coot because he played for me. But Curtis Taylor, over the Urban League and Varsity F Club and everything else dealing with FAMU athletics. I appreciate y'all, because y'all made it happen. And I know it wasn't easy. I came here in May, it'll be 51 years ago. That's a long time. Time's kind of gotten by on me. And I didn't think that I would be coaching that long and being around here that long. But it happened so fast. And then the wisdom at the time when I came, in coaching, they would say, if you come in and you get a program, first of all, they said, don't go, and Woody Hayes was saying this. He said, don't go follow a legend like a Jake Gaither. Let 2 or 3 other people go in there and fail. And then go in there. So when I came down here, the timing was right. But they would say if you go to a program that's pretty much at rock bottom and work your tail off, it normally would take 4 years if you work night and day to build that program back. Well, Florida A&M didn't bring me down here like normally they should before spring practice so we could have a spring practice. They waited until after all of that was over and brought me down here. So actually we did it in 3 years. In 3 years, we ended up being only undefeated team in the country, 1977, and then the very next year we won the 1AA championship. So that's another reason why I say, well, it took a long time for this to happen, because now it's going on 51 years. But I'm not going to be here that long. I wanted to make sure that we knew if there's somebody else that had something to do with making this happen, I don't want to forget you. It's just that I knew what these two and our commissioners were doing and our great mayor over here, I knew what they were doing, and I was told that it was a unanimous vote. So to know all of that, I just want to say to you that I appreciate all of you, my players, my family, friends, and relatives, and thank you very much. I'm very honored that this is going to happen. Thank you.
Coach, thank you, sir. Carolyn B.
Good morning, FAMU family and friends. On behalf of my family, my children, Whitney, Anicia, my grands, Aubrey and Guy, who was just born this past Tuesday, my Aunt Janet, yeah, that's why my girls couldn't be here, Miss Allie, my Uncle Willie, my cousin Chevy, Halima, who couldn't be with us today as well, Veronica, Jacqueline, her husband Jeff, her daughter Cece, and my brother Eddie Ryals Jr. is with us and his wife from Texas. So we want to certainly thank everyone who had a part in making this happen, especially Deputy City Manager, who is now retired, Cynthia Solomon Barber, who's also my baby Rattler sister, Commissioners Williams Cox, who I heard Mayor Pro Tem, let me correct myself, Commissioner Richardson, Mayor Daley, City of Tallahassee, President Beard, my alma mater, Florida A&M University, Reverend Dr. R.B. Holmes, for your support in helping to make this dream of mine become reality. In 2021, I contacted my fellow baby rattler sister, Cynthia, which we call her Cint, because we were cheerleaders together at FAMU High, regarding my desire to have Okaloosa Street renamed in my mother's honor. I stand here today with great joy as I see my dream, once again I say, become reality. Proverbs 31:31 says, honor all that she has done with her hands. Let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Today, we stand at the city gate to give honor to my mother, Dr. Carolyn Louise Washington Darnell Johnson Ryals, for the many great works that she performed in the city of Tallahassee. As a member of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, she lived by the words of our symbolic poem, "Let me live in my house by the side of the road and be a friend to man." While a student at FAMU, she marched with Jakes and Patterson for the Civil Rights Movement, and when given the charge by Reverend Dr. R.B. Holmes, she organized and chaired the homeless ministry at Bethel Missionary Baptist Church for over 30 years. Yes, woo-hoo, big ups to her. She founded the Passion for Reading program for children in Lilyan County schools and the Copycat Copy Center, where she and her sister, my Aunt Janet, who's sitting in the front row, served the FAMU community and the city of Tallahassee for 15 years. As I close, I congratulate Coach Hubbard. I also sat and bragged in the stadium as you were coaching and watched the wonderful things that you did, the Spencer families, and share what I told my baby rattler sister Cint about the street name and suffix, which is Way. I told her that I would like for it to be Dr. Carolyn Ryals Way because my mother had a way about herself and she did things her way, if you knew her. As a child, she would often say to me, do what I say do, not what you want to do. And I learned that doing it her way was the best way. So thank you everyone for this prestigious honor.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank everyone for having us here today. My family, we're honored. It's just such a pleasure to stand on the shoulders of my great aunt, Lilyan Spencer. As far as the remarks from our family, this is Miss Lilyan Spencer's great nephew, and he's going to give the remarks from the family. Dr. Dearma Scram, my brother.
Good morning, everyone. This is a glorious day. I want to thank the mayor, the president, city commissioners, esteemed guests, and also I want to thank the Latries and all this, also Ms. Perkins. We want to thank them first for really organizing really well. We have learned so much in the last few months. I am a third generation Rattler, and I love Florida A&M University. So everything we do with a spirit of excellence. And so I just want to say a few words about my great aunt. She was a national champion. So before you had Venus Williams, Serena Williams, Althea Gibson, you had Lilyan Spencer. And so she was an amazing, yes, thank you. She was a trailblazer, and she was a strong woman. And if you knew her, she was a person who really invests, real estate investor. She was a principal, she was a coach, she was an AD, but she was involved in this wonderful community that we live in. So I just want to just say that we're so honored and we're so thankful for this opportunity, and also her impact and also the influence that she had. And there's three things I just want to leave with. First is the academic leadership. She believed that our future was very important, that we educate our youth. So she was very involved in the youth, and she felt that was super important to get that education. The next thing, leadership service. She was very involved in just raising funds and helping the youth in this community. So I was so proud to hear that. And last, and certainly not least, character. Character counts. And so she believed, she was a woman of faith, and she really believed that you have to live the right way. So we're super honored, and it's a privilege to be here, and we're so thankful for this opportunity, but we want to leave with the motto of Florida A&M University, excellence with caring. And the thing that we want to leave her with, she really was a servant, one who really just gave back to this wonderful community, and she was a true FAMU alumni, and she loved this university. So thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the moment that we've been looking forward to, the unveiling of the signs. What I'd like to do is ask the podium and, of course, all family members to please come forward. If you will bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should do these one at a time to pay the proper respect to each one of our honorees, starting with Coach Rudy Hubbard. All right, Coach. Count down from 3. 3, 2, 1.